So who says that layer farming is not the right business to start in the year 2025? Who says that? Is it that it will be without challenges? No. Is it cheap? No, it's not cheap. And will your birds start laying those big eggs from day one? No. So layer farming has its own challenges, but then if you weigh the benefit of the business, you see that it's actually the business you want to start right now. So this is our 5,000 capacity layer pen over there, and we're expanding to 15,000 here. About 6 months ago, we started this project from construction phase, and we brought in the first batch of birds on December 8, 2024. Today is actually March 1st, 2025. You can do the mathematics between December 8 and 1st of March. And actually these birds that were brought in on December 8, they are already doing 80% production, and that's fantastic. So interestingly, we are expanding to 15,000. So as the poultry consultant who started the project from that moment where everywhere was just a bare land to the time where we started the construction, drawing out the whole plan, how we want the houses to be, then the projections for expansion and all that, setting the pen, installing the cages, bringing in the first batch of the birds, employing the staff, and then ensuring that the standard operating procedure for the farm is being followed, and also coming on ground to actualize the expansion plan for the farm. See, it's really an exciting one for me. It's one of the highlights of the ending of 2024 and the beginning of this year, 2025. It's a beautiful one, trust me.
Now, before I show or tell you our expansion plan in detail and how you can also expand in such a short time, let me quickly show you why I had to make it to the farm this evening. Again, I'm making this video around few minutes to 7 in the evening, and that's one of the sacrifices you would have to make if you want to get quality results on your farms. And again, this is where you subscribe to the channel and also like the video, because we are putting out content that would help you succeed in poultry farming. So we got the report that the birds were preening, they were scratching. It's evident that they had lice, the ectoparasites that will keep sucking their blood, and it usually impacts egg production negatively. I mean, if your hens are laying 90% before the infestation, it can drop the egg production to as low as 40%, 30%, and some of them will start to die, though the mortality rate is not that high, but then eventually they will start to die. They start to lose their blood, they lose their vitality and all that. So we didn't want this to happen, and because we plan to use the topical spray, is an insecticidal approach, so I didn't really want to leave the responsibility to the people on the farm. I wasn't sure if they were going to do the dilution properly and all that, so I wanted to be involved, and that's why I had to get to the farm. That would also mean leaving the farm late. I think I left around past 9 that night, but then it was a worthy sacrifice. So one thing I want to show or tell you here is that it's better you do this kind of topical spray application, like the insecticide application, in the evening, in the night, because if you do it when the birds are super active, it means that they are going to be agitated a lot, and it will impact the egg production the following day. So you want to minimize their stress level. You can see they are well rested. They are not even agitated at all, apart from the irritation from the spray touching their eyes and all that, which is very minimal. It's a minimal stress. It's something they get over in no time at all. So you want to do this early in the night. Yeah, not late in the night around 2 a.m. or so. You want to do it when the light is out. That's the main thing. That's the main goal. Do it when the light is out, and don't do it very early in the morning, because that very early in the morning before the light comes or before the day is bright, if you do it that time, it's also so close to when they are supposed to lay, and it's going to impact the egg production on that day. Still, you'll be picking most of the eggs later in the evening. It will delay the laying for that day. All right, so you want to make sure that this is done with the supervision of a professional, somebody who knows the mixing ratio of this thing we are mixing. In this case, we used cypermethrin, and that has proven to be effective over the years. There are times when these medications just don't do it. And in such cases, because for this flock, it's not like they've not had medications like ivermectin, they've had that before, but there are times those they don't fix it, so you go this route, and once you use this, it works effectively. So for the mixing ratio, make sure that you involve a professional, because I don't want to say something and it sounds like a recommendation. No, this is not a recommendation, it's just our way of doing things, and professionals in the field also do this. So that's what we did on that day, and I had to leave around 9 p.m. But then again, it was a worthy sacrifice. As at the time I'm editing this video, it's about 5 days, 5 days after, and the egg production, which had started to decline from 80% to around 72%, the egg production, as at this time I'm editing the video, had peaked back to 80 and already going past 80%. So that's one thing you want to do. Timely response is key when you are raising layers. If you don't respond timely, and for example that egg production that was around 80% and went down to 72% in a very short time, if you don't pay close attention to your birds and you don't respond fast enough, it can crash it to 40% before you know it. And if you're not careful, it will never get back up to where it left. So it's usually good that you respond fast before it starts to eat deeply into the birds, and then compromising their egg laying ability in general.
And as one who has seen a lot in the poultry industry, if you are there as a potential investor, or you are looking at poultry farming, you are considering it, is it something I should do or not do? Here is my advice to you. You see, if you have the funds, if you have the finance, start it. What you should not do is to place the key roles in the hands of wrong people. You want to make sure that you hire a professional, a consultant to start with. Don't go building the structures before you start looking for the right hands to work out everything for you. Ensure that from the get-go, from that moment where you want to lay the foundation, from that moment where you want to even plan how the whole thing would be, involve a qualified poultry consultant. Hire someone who knows what to do. If you do that, no matter how much you spend, it will all come back to you as profits. You get your money back in multiple folds. The biggest mistake you would do is to probably put money in the hands of your family member, someone who does not have traceable experience. The biggest mistake you can make is to put your money in the hands of such people and then expect that you have returns for your money. Trust me, the industry, like several other industries, have its own challenges, and you really feel the heat without proper planning and good management. So kudos to us on this farm. It's been a wonderful journey, and we are so excited, we are fired up to replicate what we have here in this new structure that we are building here. Yeah, it would be wise to ask this question. Some of you might have been asking the question already. You really wish to know, has this person started making profits to be thinking of expansion? Not really, but then we have been able to exceed expectations based on the projections that we have made in terms of the timeline of the project, and then the success rate of the business, from bringing in your birds, the way they will start laying, all those things that were provided for the client. We have actually exceeded those projections. So seeing the success of this already finished pen, the client is willing to expand and just start the bigger structure. And that's one thing that we provide. We always underpromise but over-deliver. So back to the real deal, we are expanding this place to a 15,000 capacity. Our target for this particular space is a 5-acre land. Our target for this space is actually 30,000 laying birds, but we have 5,000 already done. We're going to be putting another 10,000 here. We are starting that construction in a matter of days. That block making machine was closer to the pen before, but now we've moved it far away from the pen because we don't want them disturbing the birds that are laying. Anything that stresses your birds will affect their production.